Isang mapayapang hapon Pilipinas. Ito po ang inyong balerina ng bayan, si Macuja Elizalde, na bumabati sa lahat ng nakikinig sa DZRH Radio at sa mga nanonood sa DZRH TV, lalo na sa ating mga kasamahang alagad ng sining at kultura sa buong bansa. Mula nang itatag ito noong 1967, ang Repertory Philippines ay naging instrumento sa pagtaas ng kalidad ng teatro sa Pilipinas sa pamamagitan ng paggawa ng mga high-quality English language plays at musicals, mula sa mga Shakespearean classics at Broadway hits hanggang sa mga contemporary theatrical works ng mga makabagong mandudula. At sa mahigit na 5 dekada, naging mahalaga din ang Repertory Philippines sa paghubog ng mga lokal na talento. Sa mga entablado nito, nahasa ang kakayahan ng napakaraming Pilipinong aktor, direktor at production staff na ngayon ay nagsisilbi na ring mga haligi ng ating performing arts industry. Kaya't huwag kayong aalis sa hapong ito. Alamin natin kung ano ang mga bagong kaganapan at mga dapat abangan sa Repertory Philippines kasama ang newly appointed artistic director nito na si Jeremy Domingo. Magbabalik ang Art to Art pagkatapos ng ilang paalala.
Programang hatid ay sining at kulturang para sa lahat. Magbabalik ang Art to Art.
Tinesting, sinuri, siniyasan. Ang resulta? Super effective ang Shield sa pagpatay ng bakterya at virus. Shield Antibacterial Soap. Believe ang mga eksperto sa Philippine Nurses Association. At si Mami.
Tiwala ako sa Shield.
Shield Antibacterial Soap. Napatunayang mabisa. Ang mga nurse, tiwala.
Hello, Washi! Laundry day na naman!
Yay! Anong meron?
Mancha ng chocolate, putik, may libag pa!
Kaya natin yan! With Pride Washing Machine Detergent, may triple stain-away formula. Tanggal ang makapit, madikit, at malupit na dumit mancha. Kaya easy-easy ang labada.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon!
All you need is pride. All you need is pride. ACS.
Usapang sining at kultura para sa lahat. Art to Art.
Nandito pa rin tayo sa Art to Art at kasama natin sa hapong ito ang bagong artistic director ng Repertory Philippines na si Mr. Jeremy Domingo. Magandang hapon sa iyo, Jeremy, and welcome back to Art to Art.
Thank you, Lisa. Great to be back.
Actually, it's been a while, no? Since
over a decade.
first time kang nag-guest sa amin was back in 2013.
That's right.
Abala ka noon sa pagiging aktor. Ngayon na artistic director ka na ng Repertory Philippines. Congratulations.
Maraming salamat.
Has it hit you yet?
It's slowly sinking in. I think balanced with realizing there's so much work to be done ahead. But I'm supported by a great team, great mentors, and it's full speed ahead. I'm really excited to take this on.
Okay, so bago natin pag-usapan ang dapat abangan sa Repertory Philippines, balikan muna natin ang iyong artistic journey with the company. What was your first production with Repertory Philippines, and what are some of your unforgettable moments with the company?
Well, I began in 1990. I was a college sophomore. I was studying English in UP Diliman. I took a summer acting workshop in 1990. Rep was still in Land Bank in Buendia.
Yes.
Nagpapalabas pa kami sa Insular Life Theater sa Ayala Avenue, Ayala Corner, Paseo de Rojas.
Naalala ko yan.
That was whole generations ago.
Yes,
and
yes,
from
yes.
there, I did my first production, which was The King and I. Pinalabas namin sa Meralco Theater in October of 1990 with Joy Virata and Mel Magsipok. And I haven't stopped since. It's been 34 years of continuous work with them.
Gosh, what history. So did you ever have a chance to work with the Rep founders, Zenaida Amador and Baby Barredo?
Yes, I'm very honored to say they were my mentors. From most of the plays that I appeared in were directed by our Tito Bibot, Zenaida Amador, or Tito Baby Barredo. This year is Zenaida Amador's 20th year, her 20th anniversary of her passing. Tito Baby passed away 3 years ago in 2021.
Yes.
So it's really been, the company has really been has been continuing ever since. I mean, we have mentors and founders like this who really set a precedent and really trained us to take over and follow in their footsteps.
You did say they set a precedent.
Yes.
What was it like working with them?
It was, take your work, your craft seriously. They taught us integrity. They really instilled discipline from the very beginning. Showing up on time, knowing your lines, knowing your character. My favorite saying is, know your lines, and don't bump into any furniture. Everything down to the way that we dressed, the way that we carried ourselves on stage, the way that we treated the language, even the difference with American and English intonations. Everything was learned. Nothing was left to chance. And you could really see it in the caliber of their productions. I mean, they lasted. To date, Rep has produced more than 450 productions. And
Wow.
when I joined, I think it was the 41st season.
Yeah.
They were somewhere in the 250 or 300s, and so there have literally been over 100 productions ever since. And we used to have 2 seasons a year. Rep would produce, I think, maybe 8 to 10.
That's what we were
plays, yeah.
talking about. Repertory Philippines is
57 years old.
57 years old, but it's your
87th
87th
yes.
season.
And
Yeah.
we're currently in our 87th season this year in 2024, because there were some years when we had 2 seasons. Now, in every souvenir program, we have a listing of every production. Rep's first show was in 1967. It was Miss Julie, and it was in Filipino. And a popular urban legend, which is true, that there were 7 people in the audience, including the family.
Yeah.
And Rolando Tino and Ella Luan Singh were in that. And then it took a while for Rep to realize that there was a market for commercial plays, for comedies. So, I mean, they had, I think, Miss Julie, and Antigone, Importance of Being Earnest. They started with the classics because they were classically trained. But then they realized that tastes were evolving into audiences wanted entertainment, they wanted Broadway, so they would do My Fair Lady, Hello Dolly, Fiddler of the Roof, The King and I. And then it's when I think Rep really hit its stride when they started doing Neil Simon comedies. So they were sitcoms that they were Tony Award winners. They were hits on Broadway, off Broadway. So it was really their mandate that they were bringing London and the West End to Manila, through their plays.
Fantastic. So before you became artistic director, you mentioned that your first play with Repertory Philippines was The King and I.
Yes.
What was your last production with Repertory as an actor, before you became AD?
I see. It was pre-pandemic. In 2019, we did a play called The Dresser. By Ronald Harwood. It was directed by Loy Arcenas, who directed Larawan, the movie, with Teroy Guzman and Audie Hamora. And it was about a struggling theater company in World War II. And it was a character drama. It was a very small cast, very intimate play. And that's the kind of production I love being a part of. I mean, I've had my share of musicals. I've done musical theater. I was in Carousel, in Oliver as well. But that was a small production where it was really character driven. And set in World War II, it's about an aging Shakespearean actor and his dresser. And we were a struggling company avoiding the bombs in London in wartime. And it was just such it was a close company. We're still very close until now. But that was 5 years ago.
At that time, Repertory was still in Greenbelt, no?
Yes, we were in onstage Greenbelt for 20 years, from 2003 to 2023.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I performed there. So
And I remember before that, you were in Shangri-La.
That's right.
Yeah, in the Shangri-La Mall. Boy, what a history.
There's
But
so much history
aside
there.
from being a theater actor, you have also been involved in other fields of entertainment as well as in the academe. So sa tingin mo ba, paano makakatulong sa iyo ang mga karanasang ito sa bago mong tungkulin bilang artistic director?
Well, I like to say that if I were to be asked how long did I prepare for this, I think I prepared my whole professional life, which was 34 years. But for the last 9 years, I've been teaching at Mint College, Meridian International in BGC. We have also another campus in Ortigas East. I specialize in voice for the theater, voice for broadcasting and hosting and emceeing. That I've been really fortunate, and it's something I share with my students and the actors that I direct, the actors that I work with, that you really bring in every other component that you do in your professional life, you bring with you on stage. I've been fortunate to do a lot of voiceover work. I was a radio DJ for 96.3 for several years. For 14 years, I worked with ABS-CBN as the voice of Studio 23. So when I wasn't acting on stage, I would find something else to do, either act in another company. So I got to work with Dula ang UP, with Tony Mabesa, Anton Juan, Floy Quintos. And then there was a lot of broadcasting work that I did in television and radio. And all of those elements really helped seeing how preparation for the theater could help in so many other fields. And it all goes back to practice learning your craft, to the craft of acting.
All the aspects of your craft.
Absolutely.
Okay, so having worked with different companies over the years, what makes Rep cut above the rest? And how do you intend to uphold this advantage under your watch?
No. Rep is based on tradition. It's 57 years of history, almost 500 productions. And we've weathered through so many storms. You've mentioned the many different venues. It goes to show that theater isn't bound to a theater. The craft isn't bound to a single venue. That happens to be the housing. If we began an insular life, we were there for 25 years, 10 years in Shangri-La Plaza, 20 years in Onstage Greenbelt. But Rep is still here. It may have evolved somehow. It may have adjusted, attuned itself. You asked about the number of plays that we had. I mean, we used to produce 10 to 12 plays a year. Now we're down to 4 or 5. But one of them, our children's theater, it's been retitled Theater for Young Audiences. RTYA runs for up to 5 months, over 100 performances.
Yes, and you have a new home, right?
Yes, we do.
In Eastwood?
In Eastwood City, in Quezon City. So we begin with, we're doing a children's theater play, Jepoy and the Magic Circle. It's an original adaptation of The Magic Circle, which is a short story by Hilda Cordero Fernando. And it's going to be really exciting because we feature Philippine folklore. It's about encantos, tikbalang, aswang, manananggal. Very exciting original piece. Music by E.J. Yatko, and it's written by Rodi Vera.
Unexpected from Repertory Philippines because
Yes,
of the English, tradition, no?
But it still falls under the mandate. It is still in English.
Okay, so it's still going to be in
It's
English,
pushing the
yeah.
creative boundaries and doing something entirely original, yet still fitting within the confines or the description of a repertory show. And we're so privileged to be able to reach young audiences who grew up with us.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful trend that kids who and our acting workshops begin next week, and our classes will be held at Mint College in McKinley. That students who take our workshops repeat every summer. They make friends. You form such strong bonds there. And kids who begin in children's theater grow up to become our teenager, our adult actors, and even our audiences. If they have a positive experience watching children's theater, sometimes they come back, they bring their families to watch again of their own accord.
That's secret to audience
Absolutely.
audience development. Okay, well, marami pa po tayong pag-uusapan kasama ang bagong artistic director ng Repertory Philippines na si Jeremy Domingo. Dito pa rin sa Art to Art, magbabalik po kami pagkatapos ng ilang paalala.
Programang hatid ay sining at kulturang para sa lahat. Magbabalik ang Art to Art. Schedule ng mga inaabangang konsyerto. Update sa mga magagandang panoorin sa mga tanghalan at teatro. Narito na ang Art to Art Calendar.
Narito ang ating arts calendar. Sa teatro, inihahandog ng Tanghalang Ateneo kasama ang Arete ang Sintang Dalisay, isang full-length adaptation ng Romeo and Juliet ni William Shakespeare na ginawa ng yumaong Ricardo G. Abad at ni Guelan Varela Luarca. Gumagamit ng traditional dance form na Sama Bajau, ito ay mapapanood sa July 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19 at 20 sa Hyundai Hall ng Arete, Ateneo de Manila University, Katipunan Avenue, Quezon City. Para sa ticket, bumisita sa website ng Ticket to Me o sa social media pages ng Tanghalang Ateneo. Bilang unang produksyon ng Out of the Box series ng Cultural Center of the Philippines o CCP, inihahandog ang Ganito na Kami Noon, Paano na Ngayon sa panulat ni Jose Victor Torres at direksyon ni Dennis Marasigan. Pinaghalo sa kakaibang theatrical experience na ito ang mga mga obra ni na national artist Alejandro Roses, F. Shonil Jose at Eddie Romero. Mapapanood ito sa July 5, ikapito ng gabi at July 6 at 7, ikatatlo ng hapon sa tanghalang Ignacio Jimenez, CCP Complex, Pasay City. Bumisita sa social media pages ng CCP para sa karagdagang detalye ukol sa ticket. Inihahandog ng Sandbox Collective ang Little Shop of Horrors, a bloodthirsty musical comedy mula July 6 hanggang 28 sa Globe Auditorium ng Maybank Performing Arts Theater sa BGC Taguig. Batay ito sa musical na may libro ni Howard Ashman at musika ni Alan Menken sa direksyon ni Toph de Venecia at musical direction ni E.J. Yatko. Tungkol ito kay Audrey na may dalawang mangingibig, isang sadistang dentista at isang mahiyaing lalaking nag-aalaga ng tanim na nangangain ng tao. Tampok sa mga pangunahing papel sina Karil Tatlonghari at Sue Ramirez bilang Audrey at sina Noy Volante at Reb Atadero bilang Seymour.
Tinesting, sinuri, siniyasan. Ang resulta? Super effective ang Shield sa pagpatay ng bakterya at virus. Shield Antibacterial Soap. Believe ang mga eksperto sa Philippine Nurses Association. At si Mami.
Tiwala ako sa Shield.
Shield Antibacterial Soap. Napatunayang mabisa. Ang mga nurse, tiwala.
Hello, Washi! Laundry day na naman!
Yay! Anong meron?
Mancha ng chocolate, putik, may libag pa!
Kaya natin yan! With Pride Washing Machine Detergent, may triple stain-away formula. Tanggal ang makapit, madikit, at madupit na dumit mancha. Kaya easy-easy ang labada.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon!
All you need is pride. All you need is pride. ACS.
Usapang sining at kultura para sa lahat. Art to Art.
Andito pa rin tayo sa Art to Art at kasama pa rin natin ang newly appointed Artistic Director ng Repertory Philippines na si Jeremy Domingo. Okay, Jeremy, let's talk about the latest season of Rep. We started before the commercial gap. It's your 87th
That's right.
Season. Ano ang dapat natin abangan sa taong ito?
Well, this season, this is our 87th season. We're going to be in 2 venues. This year, we're at the Carlos P. Romulo Theater sa RCBC Plaza. Nagsimula kami 2024 with Betrayal. It was a 3-actor play.
I watched that.
Oh, great,
Yeah,
great.
it was
That-
amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. Our
Gripping,
director-
gripping.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a play by Harold Pinter. It's it was a Pulitzer Prize winner and a Nobel Prize winner, I believe. Our first time to stage a Pinter. Our director was Victor Lirio, who's based in the UK with the old Vic, and we had a cast of Phil Britz. From
Yeah,
the UK.
you I think imported them from the
Yes,
UK, right?
from London. It's a new initiative that Rep has called the Bridge Project, and it's a knowledge exchange platform where we have theater practitioners from the UK, from the US, and they come and work with our designers, our actors on our stage, and we had workshops at Mint College early this year, and then our second play we're currently running June, July. It's called I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. It's the second longest running off-Broadway comedy with just 4 actors. It is a delight. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite intimate musicals.
Yeah.
It's being directed by Menchu Lauchenko Yulo, and we run from June 14th to July 6th at RCBC.
So they can still catch the play
Yes.
until July 6th.
We're running until Saturday, July 6th, every weekend. We on our website, which is www.repertoryphilippines.ph, we list all our show dates and times. We still have our season subscriber system, so that's one of the traditions that Rep has, that we offer season tickets, and you can purchase tickets for the whole season at a special price, and we've had that since the beginning. And we have 2 more plays this year. We follow I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change with our children's theater, our theater for young audiences. It's called Jepoy and the Magic Circle. That runs October in our new theater in Eastwood, Eastwood City Walk. And our finale this year is Rep's first jukebox musical. It's called Going Home to Christmas, a Jose Marichan musical.
Okay, wait, you say jukebox musical. What does that mean?
Okay, it's a new genre of musical. You'd often it's a lot of for Filipino jukebox musicals, you usually take an artist from OPM. There have been PETA had Lack of Aegis by the band Aegis, and then Resorts World had Ang Huling El Bimbo by Eraserheads, and now Burugudoy Stunstugudunstoy, which features Parokya ni Edgar. And Rep had decided to take on the music of Jose Marichan, which has, who's such a beloved institution.
Yeah.
His music has been very popular for generations. And
Yeah, of
something-
course, the Christmas song.
It's seasonal, so we're
Yeah.
opening it in November is no accident.
Yeah.
And it's something that we wanted to share with the audiences who grew up listening to his music for decades. It's
Yes.
such a popular following, and it's a lot of 90s, and a lot of productions now are really geared toward younger audiences.
Yes, yes.
We always talk about it's for the millennials and Gen Zs, and there's a whole new population that is experiencing theater. The theater industry is just thriving now with so many productions. There's PETA has a Ben and Ben musical, Resorts World has Parokya ni Edgar,
Yeah.
and they just showed Rent, and Once on This Island will be showing later this year as well.
Yeah.
So in addition to Broadway, the jukebox musical features original music. Music from that's already been previously released and assembled into a new theatrical piece. Another example is Mamma Mia
Yeah.
on Broadway in
Yeah.
London, which is the music of ABBA, which was they created an original storyline around the music, which is what we're doing for Jose
I
Marichan's
see.
music.
Okay. And you are assistant director for this
Yes, I am.
jukebox musical as well?
The director, we have a guest director for Going Home to Christmas. It's Mr. Leo Rialp, who's appearing in Grace, which was written by the late Floyd Quintos. And he has been a renowned director for concerts and musical theater. We have 4 writers on board. The script is being written by Robbie Guevara, Luna Grino Inosian, and Joel Trinidad, with some original story material by Kathy Azanza D. So it's there are vignettes that are set around Christmas time, and it really explores how Filipinos celebrate Christmas. And I don't want to give away too much, but it's people who are familiar with Jose Marichan's music will recognize so many familiar songs. We found a clever way to put in, it's his greatest hits package. So it's not
Okay,
just the Christmas
yeah.
songs, but all the popular songs that everyone loves. It's been assembled into an original story.
Wow, that's really something to look forward to. And that's opening in November,
We open
right?
on November 29 in RCBC.
In RCBC. Okay, so the last few years have seen the resurgence of interest in Philippine theater, and of
Yes.
course there's so many things going on right now. Kasama na rin dito, of course, ang pagdami ng theater companies. Bukod pa sa mga freelance producers who organize productions. So how does a 57-year-old company like Rep keep up with all of these changes? Did you have to adjust your PR and marketing strategies? What's the secret of your staying power?
I think it's a matter of evolving and adapting, but keeping true to its core values. That audiences who watch a Repertory show in 2024, even though the material may be chosen, may perhaps cater to a younger audience. Like I mentioned, a lot of shows are geared toward the millennials and Gen Z audience, but you can't alienate the boomers and Generation X, which I proudly belong to. A lot of our audience members grew up watching Rep for decades, so we have to be really inclusive. That in any given audience, I've always reminded myself that there's at least one person experiencing theater for the first time, and I've always believed that it's somehow more challenging to bring them in for the second time.
Yeah.
Because they come in by choice.
Yeah.
They come in, maybe they've developed that theater going habit, which is really the purpose of Rep in the very beginning. One of Zenaida Amador's dictums was that one of her missions was to make theater going a habit in Metro Manila.
Yeah.
And I think they've certainly succeeded.
Yeah.
But how we've been able to sustain ourselves by choosing material that will be relevant, that will be entertaining, at the same time upholding the production values that we've long established, training the Filipino actor. It's not just a matter of putting a show together and putting them on stage, but it's making sure that the Filipino actor gets adequate training in acting, singing, dancing, speech. There's so many different areas that in my career, for example, when I wasn't acting in a play for Rep, I always, with my theater training, I found something to do outside, whether that was hosting, emceeing, doing
Yeah.
voiceover work.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's giving back to the community as well.
Yeah.
That I had the benefit of such generous mentors: Zenaida Amador, Baby Barredo, Miguel Faustman, Freddy Santos, Jose Maria Avellana, Jonas Sebastian. There's so many, and I realized since I'm still standing,
Yeah.
that it's really up to me to continue that chain.
Yeah.
I'd like to think of myself as as the custodian. That it's my time to share. I've put in time as an actor, which I'll still act every now and then. But the knowledge that was shared with me, I believe it's my responsibility to share it with others and
Yeah.
to keep the company going. That Rep was around long before I was.
Yeah.
I'll make the most of my time here and do my best to select. We're in the process of choosing our first season in Eastwood. So we're in a selection process right now for 2025. And we're bringing in a whole new audience based in Quezon City. We were in Makati and Mandaluyong for 57 years.
Yeah.
So it's certainly going to be a challenge.
Yes.
It's going to, and Rep is going to go on long after I will. So it's, and even your sister Gia Macuja, so
Yeah.
a big shout to Gia, who's now
Yes.
based in the United Kingdom.
Yes, yes.
Our generation, our batch, we
Yeah.
did plays in Shangri-La Plaza in
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yes.
So we had
Yeah.
the benefit of working with Bebot and Baby back then. And so many of us have gone on to do productions in
Yeah.
other countries.
But
and found
actually,
success.
Repertory Philippines, I think, has basically exported
Yes.
the talent that was nurtured in Repertory Philippines,
Right.
and in fact, some of them are now leading their own theater
right.
companies. I think a lot of the newer theater companies in the Philippines are from Rep Babies.
That's right.
Yeah.
In Phil stage
What does that
alone,
feel like?
It's great because
Yeah.
I look around and I see that my peers, when we were all actors growing up backstage in Shangri-La and on stage Greenbelt, they're now the producers. So Nine Works Theatrical and Upstart, even Actors Incorporated, TNT,
Yeah.
all of them are run by former theater actors who are doing the same thing. They're continuing the
Sandbox
mission.
Collective,
Sandbox
yeah.
Collective, which is the sister company of Nine Works. So many of them began as actors. And I think it's all based on a love for the craft, the desire to continue to share what we know, which all boils down to storytelling. It's a matter of, while there are still great stories to be told, we'll always have a job. We'll always
That's
have
true.
a responsibility to share it with our audiences.
That's true. And what an exciting season. And we're looking forward, of course, to 2025 as well. So what's the best way to get all the latest news about Repertory Philippines?
Well, all our updates are on our website, which is www.repertoryphilippines.ph, and we're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram and TikTok. Like I said, with Evolution, it's not just what you see on stage,
Yeah.
but our relationship with our audiences and subscribers. That we have regular updates every day on
Yeah.
social media. We have a lot of if you look at our posts. We take a look behind the scenes at our current production. We even take a look back and post a lot of information about our Rep has a 57-year legacy.
Yeah.
There's so much history there, from the familiar to perhaps the more obscure. I do joke about this fact that most of my batchmates, if we're not producing, they're all based in the United Kingdom. So a big shout out to them. But so many of them went on to do Miss Saigon
Yeah.
for one. That a lot of them went on to do productions in
Yeah.
other countries. Some, and not just the UK, but some are based in Berlin and Stuttgart, in Germany. Some in the Netherlands as well. So we've exported our manpower, not just in the industrial sector, but in the creatives as well as medical and informational. That again, it's just further proof how formidable Filipino talent is, and Rep being one of the two oldest theatrical institutions in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, PETA and Rep both began in June 1967, and we're still in the game today, working alongside so many new companies. So the scene is so exciting, it's so vibrant, and audiences have so much to choose from.
Yeah. Well, talking about audiences, let's break the fourth wall now. And what will you say to the audience member watching our program today?
Well, come and see I Love You, You're Perfect Now Change. We are running at the RCBC Theater until June 6th. You can check out our website, www.repertoryphilippines.ph. We generally run from Thursday to Saturday evening at 8 p.m. and Saturday and some Sundays at 3:30. And like we do say in Rep, the story begins here. That whether this is your first or your 100th production to watch, there is always something to enjoy, to take home, to share with your friends and your family. Rep is back, and we're here to stay. That's what I'd like to share.
Great. And for tickets, you can go to ticketworld.com.ph,
You can purchase
right?
tickets at ticketworld.com or Ticket to Me, or you can just pop up at the RCBC Theater and just buy tickets. It's wonderful how we have evening shows. So a lot of people who work in Makati, before you go home, grab dinner somewhere and just watch a show.
There's
and enjoy
nothing like
yourselves.
live theater, really.
Absolutely.
Okay. Maraming salamat sa pagdalaw mo sa aming programa, Jeremy. And of course, congratulations and good luck on your new appointment. And
Thank
more
you.
power to Repertory Philippines on its 87th season.
Maraming salamat, Lisa, and to Art, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan ninyo kami ulit dito sa Art to Art, kung saan ang usapang sining at kultura ay para sa lahat. Ito po ang inyong balerina ng bayan, Macuja Elizalde, nagpupugay sa artistang Pilipino.